This is the story of something that started as a dream, but quickly turned into something I couldn't escape. I am going to tell you about how my dream world is becoming my reality. And once I do, you'll understand why I don't sleep the same anymore. It all began a few months ago. At first, the dreams were strange but harmless. I found myself in a town I didn't recognize. The sky was always cloudy, the buildings were quiet, and everything had this dull gray look. No people, no sound, just the wind and my footsteps. But the weirdest part was that I kept ending up in the same place every night. It wasn't like other dreams that changed every time. This place stayed the same, like it was waiting. Each night, I'd walk the same streets. I started to notice little things. A red bicycle leaning against a fence. A newspaper on a porch with the date 2 days ahead. A cracked mirror in an empty shop that showed not my reflection, but something behind me. At first, I told myself it was just a dream, maybe a sign of stress, or my mind playing tricks. But then things got worse. One night, I found a house at the end of a street. A tall, black house with windows like eyes and a door that looked like a mouth. It scared me, but something pulled me toward it. I stepped inside and it was pitch black. I heard whispers. They said my name, over and over. Then I woke up, gasping. But when I looked around my real bedroom, there was dirt on my feet. Like, I'd been walking barefoot. My sheets were twisted like I had been running. I brushed it off. Maybe I sleepwalked. The next night, I told myself I wouldn't go near the house. But the dream changed. This time the house was in the middle of town. Closer. And when I walked past the cracked mirror again, I saw myself. But I wasn't blinking. I wasn't me. It smiled when I didn't. I started waking up with bruises. Scratches. One night, I had a deep cut on my arm. I had no idea where it came from. I even locked my door, but it didn't matter. The dreams kept pulling me back. Then one morning, I woke up with something in my hand. A small silver key, cold and real. I dropped it in shock. I had never seen it before, but I had. In the dream, it opened the door to the black house. I stopped going to work. I couldn't focus. I barely ate. All I could think about was the dream world, and each night it became more real. I started seeing the red bicycle outside my real window. I saw that newspaper on my porch, dated 2 days ahead, just like in the dream. I tried to throw it away, but the next day it came back. I realized then, it wasn't just a dream. That world was bleeding into mine, piece by piece, day by day, and the black house? It was getting closer. Then came the worst night. I was back in the dream. But this time, the town was full of people. Only, they weren't alive. They stood still, staring at me, eyes black, mouths open like they were screaming. But no sound came out. They all pointed toward the house. And I knew. I had to go in. The key was in my pocket. I walked up to the door. My hand shook as I unlocked it. Inside, the whispers were louder now, angry, hungry. I walked down a hallway of mirrors. Each one showed a different version of me. Some crying, some covered in blood, some staring back with wide, empty eyes. At the end of the hall was a door. I opened it, and there I was, lying in my bed, sleeping, and something was standing over me. It turned around slowly. Same face, same body, but not me. It smiled. "I've waited long enough," it said. "Your dream is mine now, and your life will be mine too." I woke up screaming, ran to the mirror, but it didn't reflect me. It showed him. Now, I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know if I'm still dreaming. I look around, and this world, it feels like the dream. Quiet, empty, familiar. So if one day you see me, and I smile without blinking. Run. Because it might not be me anymore. This is the story of something that still makes me question what's real and what's not. I'm going to tell you about the time I dreamed of a house and then found it in real life. This really happened to me, and every word I'm about to say is true. Listen closely. It started about a year ago. I began having this strange dream. In it, I was standing in front of an old house I had never seen before. It was 2 stories, with cracked windows, faded blue paint, and a broken fence around the yard. The sky was always gray in the dream, and there were no other houses nearby, just trees. The place looked empty, but I always felt like someone was watching me from the top window. And every time I tried to walk up to the door, I'd wake up. Heart racing, cold sweat. I had that dream almost every night for 2 weeks. At first, I thought nothing of it. Just a weird dream, maybe caused by stress. But it wouldn't stop. Every night, the same house, the same heavy feeling, the same cold wind blowing from nowhere. I even started drawing it in a notebook. I couldn't help it. It was stuck in my mind like a memory I couldn't let go of. Then one weekend, I went on a road trip with some friends. We were driving through a quiet countryside road, just trees and fields all around. I was half asleep in the back seat when the car slowed down. I opened my eyes, and my heart stopped. There it was, the house from my dream. The same cracked windows, the same blue paint, the same broken fence. I couldn't believe it. I told my friends to stop the car. They looked confused, but they pulled over. I got out and walked up to the fence. It was even creepier in real life. The air felt heavy, just like in my dream. I looked up, and swear to you, someone moved behind the top window curtain. I froze. It felt like the house had been waiting for me. My friends started getting scared. They begged me to leave it alone, but I had to know more. I needed to see the inside. I found out from a local shop that the house had been empty for years. No one lived there. No one wanted to. People said it was cursed. They said strange things happened to anyone who went inside. But I didn't care. I had to see it. I came back the next day. Alone. The door was unlocked. I stepped inside, and it was like I had entered my dream. Everything was the same. The old furniture, the long dusty hallway, the smell of damp wood and something else. Something rotten. I walked through the house, my footsteps echoing. I went. Up the stairs. Each step creaked like it was warning me to turn back. But I didn't. At the end of the hallway was the room with the window. I slowly pushed the door open. It was empty, but the curtain was moving. Not from wind. There was no breeze. It moved like someone had just been there. And then I saw it. On the wall was a mirror, but my reflection wasn't right. It was me, but older, pale, and smiling. But I wasn't smiling. I took a step back. My reflection stayed still. It didn't move with me. And then it whispered, "You've finally come home." I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't stop until I was back in my car, gasping for air. Since that day, the dreams stopped. But sometimes when I look into mirrors, I still see that version of me, the one from the house, just for a second. But it's enough. And now, every time I pass an old house, I wonder, what if someone else is dreaming of it right now? What if they're being called just like I was? So if you ever dream of a place you've never seen, and then one day you do see it, don't go in. Some doors are not meant to be opened. Some dreams are not really dreams, they are invitations. And once you accept, you can't ever forget. This is the story of something I never wanted to believe. I am going to tell you about the nightmare that became real for me, a story called Every Time I Sleep, Someone Dies. Listen carefully, because once I tell you this, you may never sleep the same way again. It started about 6 months ago. Life was normal. I had a small job, lived in a quiet apartment, nothing exciting. But one night, I had a dream. It wasn't like a normal dream. In it, I was floating in darkness, and I saw a man sitting alone on a bench at night. I didn't know him. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, just watch. Then, from the shadows behind him, a figure appeared. No face, just a long black coat and glowing red eyes. The figure walked up behind the man and touched his shoulder. The man gasped, turned around and fell over. Dead. I woke up screaming. My chest was tight, my heart pounding. I thought it was just a nightmare. A bad one, yes, but only a dream. Until I turned on the news later that morning. They showed the face of a man who had been found dead in the park, alone, on a bench. Same. Time, same clothes, same spot. It was him. I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what to think. I convinced myself it was a strange coincidence. Dreams don't kill people, right? But then it happened again. A few nights later, I dreamed of a woman in a hotel room. She was brushing her hair, humming softly. Then the same dark figure appeared, silent. It walked behind her. She turned around too late. Next morning, I saw her face on the news. She had died in her hotel room. Heart attack, they said. But I knew it wasn't natural. I had seen it. I started to panic. I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? I tried staying awake for days. Coffee, energy drinks, cold showers. But eventually, my body gave up. And the moment I fell asleep, it happened again. Each time I closed my eyes, I saw someone new, a stranger, a different place, and always the same figure, always watching me first, like it knew I was there. Then it would turn toward the person, and they would die. It didn't matter if I tried to stop it in the dream. I screamed, I ran, I begged, but I couldn't move. I was just a floating shadow forced to watch, and when I woke up, the death was real, on the news, online. It didn't stop. I started researching. Old books, strange websites, even dark forums. That's when I found something that froze my blood. A legend from centuries ago. They called it the sleeper's curse, a punishment given to someone who had, in another life, caused great pain. The curse, to carry death in their dreams. Each sleep, one soul lost. I didn't know what I had done to deserve it, but I had to find a way to break it. I tried everything. Rituals, meditations, even went to a temple far away. Nothing worked. The worst part? The figure is getting closer. Each time I sleep, it doesn't just kill someone. It walks a little nearer to me. In the last dream, it was right behind me. I couldn't turn around. I felt its breath on my neck. I don't think I have many nights left. I don't sleep anymore. Not really, just short naps. But even then, someone dies. Someone always dies. And the guilt is eating me alive. Friends think I'm sick. They say, I look haunted. They're not wrong. Now you know the truth. This is not just a story. It's a warning. If you ever see me sleeping near you, wake me up. Please, before it chooses you next. Because the next time I close my eyes might be the last for someone, or maybe even you. This is the story of something that still gives me chills every time I think about it. I am going to tell you about the night demon who visits at 3 a.m. This is not just some tale I heard from a friend of a friend. No, this is something that really happened to someone I knew. And once you hear it, you'll never look at the clock the same way again. It was about 5 years ago. My cousin Arjun had just moved into a new house in a quiet part of town. He lived alone, and he liked it that way. The house was small, old, and a bit far from the main road, but it was cheap, and that's all he cared about. At first, everything was fine. But then, strange things started to happen. It always happened around the same time. 3 a.m. The first time, he heard knocking. Not from the door, but from inside the walls. Slow, steady knocks. He thought it was just rats or maybe the old wood, creaking. But then it happened again the next night. And the night after that. Always at 3 a.m. One night, he decided to stay up and see what was going on. He sat on the sofa, eyes on the clock. As the minute hand touched 3 hour, the knocking started. This time, it wasn't just in the walls. It was closer, from the hallway. Then, he heard footsteps. Soft, slow steps coming toward his room. But when he rushed out, there was no one there. Nothing. Just the dark hallway and silence. He thought maybe he was just imagining it. Maybe he was tired or his mind was playing tricks on him. But the next night, he saw it. He had fallen asleep by mistake on the sofa. At exactly 3 a.m., he woke up suddenly. Not from a sound, but from a feeling. A cold, heavy feeling in this air. He sat up, looked around, and then he saw her. A woman. No, not a woman. Something that looked like one. Tall, thin, with long black hair that covered her face. Her dress was white, torn and dirty, and her hands were long, bony, and black, like they were burnt. She stood at the end of the hallway just staring at him. Or at least, he thought she was staring. He couldn't see her eyes. Frozen in fear, he couldn't move. He just sat there, breathing hard, his heart pounding in his chest. Then, without making a sound, she started walking toward him. Step by step, slowly. Her feet didn't even touch the ground. She floated. Just when she got close, so close he could smell the rotting air around her, he screamed. And just like that, she disappeared. Arjun didn't sleep that night, or the night after. He tried to stay up, lights on, TV playing, windows shut. But every night at 3, she came back, sometimes in the hallway, sometimes in the mirror, once even standing right next to his bed. He tried everything. He put salt at the doors, hung garlic, even brought a priest to bless the house. But nothing worked. She kept coming, and each time, she came closer. One night, I got a call from him. It was 3:10 a.m. His voice was shaking. He whispered, "She's here. She's right in front of me. I don't think I'll make it this time." I rushed to his house. It took me 20 minutes. When I got there, the front door was wide open. The lights were off, and the whole house felt freezing cold. I called out his name, walked slowly inside. Then I saw him. He was sitting on the floor, back against the wall, eyes wide open. But he wasn't moving. His mouth was open, frozen, in a silent scream. There were no signs of injury, no blood, nothing. But his face, it was full of terror. The police said it was a heart attack. But I know the truth. I saw the clock. It had stopped working, but the time on it was 3 a.m. Since then, I never ignore strange noises at night. And I never, ever stay up alone at 3 a.m. Because now I believe she doesn't just visit one house, she finds new ones. Maybe she's already found yours. So, if you ever wake up at 3 a.m. and feel cold, or hear knocking from the walls, don't look, just close your eyes, and hope she walks away, because once you see her face, it's already too late.